Yes, so that brings me to the question of what kind of influence would the governors have despite this Supreme Court's judgment of financial autonomy for the local governments? That's one. Then the second question is, I would really like you to answer that question thoroughly, which is financial autonomy equals to financial prudence?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Without any guessing, is not equal. And that is why we need to look at how do we make the local government now more transparent, more accountable, and more prudent. Three things we need to look at. Number one, we need to look at the revenue management system of the local governments. Number two, we also need to look at the public procurement process at the local government level. Number three is the budgeting process. We have to deal with these three things in a very, very clear way that supports the local government system. Because, again, a lot of resources will go there, so we need to get the revenue clear. And of course, when you look at it, the local governments now are going to have a lot of resources, not just the one from the federal government. There is also what people seldom talk about, which is the 10% of IGR of states, in accordance with the Revenue Allocation Act. And of course, the Constitution also has supported that.
So you're talking about now other sources of revenue for the local government areas,
Absolutely.
not just FAC allocation
not
every
just
month.
FAC allocation.
Yes, I was coming to that later, but since you are there, let me allow you.
Yeah. So you can now see that the local governments, apart from FAC allocation, there's 10% of IGR, plus other levies that they collect directly. So which means that tier of government, as in terms of funding, is now going to be adequately funded because these monies will come to them. And again, if there is any challenge with the 10%, because the state will probably want to hold on to that again because they have not been given them. So what needs to be done also, if the local government can go back to the Supreme Court and compel that 10%, that there should be direct deduction of that 10% from states to also local government, that would be helpful.
What would do the direct deduction now?
Well, if there is a Supreme Court judgment.
Because it's the governors that signs.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the governors that now signs the check.
No, if there is
are you now saying now where the local governments are having a leeway is because of FAC allocation is coming from the center, as it were. So they come here every month, they do, you take this, you take this, you take this. Now, if you're saying there's 10% of IGR in states, which is legal. So how will the state governors be compelled to do that?
They get court orders to enforce it. So once
how many court orders have worked in this country?
Well, we need to, for democracy to win, we can now see the role of the judiciary. And I think if local governments struggle with that 10%, there is a need also to bring the judiciary to take a firm stand on that because the law is there and that money needs to get to them. So systems and structures that will make accountability of revenue clear need to be in place. Because that is something that we should look at it, build their structure that makes that possible in terms of making sure that they have the right procedures, the right regulations, and they adhere to those things in accordance with the provisions of public financial management and the Constitution.